Hey everyone, Chris and Tanya here with Clutter Reduction Junk Removal. We just pulled up to a senior living facility that we are a vendor for. We are going to be removing the contents of an apartment. The mother had moved from independent to assisted. Now she's going from assisted to memory care. So they have to get rid of all the excess furniture that's not going to fit. So it's a little bit of big stuff, a little bit of small stuff, nothing too crazy. I think I quoted half a truck and then one bagging fee because we are going to be emptying some of the kitchen cabinets and the closets and the bathroom cabinets. So should be in and out pretty quickly, trying to beat the rain. After this, we're going to be dropping off one of the pieces, hopefully, to an auction. Somebody that we work with, kind of like a consignment in a way. So we usually do that for like the really nice things that don't make sense to bring to Goodwill. And then after this, we're going to be going to give an estimate / potential job for a referral from somebody in one of our networking groups. It is our first referral from this group. It has not been the most promising source as we thought it would be, so at least we finally got something, assuming it all works out. It sounds like it's a dresser and a computer. I don't know if there's anything else there, but we will find out shortly. So we'll go ahead and show you what we're going to be dealing with inside here, and we'll get started. So we don't have to make multiple trips. We'll put all of our equipment in our speed packs and bring it up in one trip. Even if we don't need all the dollies, we'll bring them just in case, because it's better to have them and not need them than to need them and have to come back and grab them. Let's go this way. This is one of the pieces that we're taking. Pretty cool. Not too heavy. It's pretty big though. Hey, stand next to it. Use it as like a scale. You can almost ride it.
What do you think? I'll see if I can tape it on for you guys. I'm not touching it, actually.
Dementia's hitting a lot of people very young.
Yeah. Exactly. Okay, so that's for you guys. There's the 2 lamps somebody can use, I'm sure. I don't know.
Yeah, we usually bring the trailer to her first, and then
Like,
they
this
grab.
is cute, but...
Make our first trip. What we'll do when we come back is I'll just put that on the dolly the way it is and then just stick the chair on it, use it as like a boat. The couch stays, the TV stays. So we have this that has the pictures and glass pieces. This guy goes, speed pack of all the stuff in the kitchen and the bathroom. We're gonna
Lamps.
yeah, these 2 lamps and this nightstand. We're gonna come back with the white bag to put the clothes in, because that's how we like to separate them for donation. Otherwise, closet's empty. I did not do that. Bathroom's empty. Closet's empty. So, and then this is all stuff we're keeping, because why pay for toiletries when you get it for free? So let's run this out. Hopefully it doesn't rain, and we'll be right back. All right, here's trip 2. We have the speed pack and the cart of clothes outside. That'll be 1 trip. We'll come back. This will be 1 trip. We just have this on the dolly, and then we'll come back with 1 dolly for the nightstand and the other one for the horse outside, and that'll be everything. So the Handtrucks not gonna get a whole lot of action today. I got my new stair climbers on them. I got my new silicone lip on it, so now we can kind of slide it without causing damage. And we got our new grippy. Second to last trip. I got the cabinet of the bag, nightstand, miscellaneous hand truck. We got that guy left, which will be next trip, and then I need a blacktop dolly for this. We're basically just gonna lift it up. I'll have Tanya slide a dolly underneath it, and we'll take it out as is.
Yes. Oh, yes. We have cards too. We'll give you some cards. Okay. Thank you.
All right, we are back to the house, the second job. I thought it was just gonna be like a minimum pickup. On the phone she just said like a computer and a dresser, and when we got there she was like this, that, and I was like, oh, well, I mean, we haven't given you a price yet. So I told her 1/8 of a truck, which is 3 yards for us. Probably not too far off from a quarter once she added in a Christmas tree, but I kind of just rounded up to the next $100 mark, which was like 20 bucks more, and she was fine with that. And then she tipped us 30 bucks. Sometimes it's hard to tell, you know, if someone is going to be like, no. But she said that she did try to donate all of it, and they were like, no, it's not good enough. Hi, what would you charge to remove 2 pieces of furniture from the garage? I will tell you in a moment. At least now we finally got a referral from this group. We were literally just talking about it last night at the dinner they met at. The guy, one of the guys who does ACs, he was like, hey, like, have you gotten a lot of work from this group? And I was like, no, actually, we have not gotten a single job yet. Which is crazy, because like in our other group, which isn't even a referral based, I've done like probably over $4,000 worth of work for either the members or the members that like their clients. And this group is like actually revolved around referrals and nothing. So sometimes you win, sometimes you lose, and you know, sometimes it just takes time. But we're probably gonna not finish the year. It goes by, like, you pay upfront for the year, and then you pay a quarterly fee, and that quarterly fee goes towards things like last night where we all met at a restaurant and they closed off the whole back end of the restaurant, and we got fed like family style food, which like the place, that place, like we love it. We've been there like a lot of times. It's good food. But yeah, that's, you know, it's just not been the greatest, I guess. Luckily you only meet one time a week in the mornings, and it's like an hour meeting, but it just hasn't been as lucrative as we thought it was going to be when we first signed up. So you just gotta live and learn sometimes. But yeah, that's pretty much it. We have a few things kind of going on this week. Bigger job next week for 10 by 15 storage. And then I got a confusing message through Yelp, and then I couldn't access Yelp. I swear, if you don't do ads with Yelp, like utilizing that app is just worthless. I don't know, like I get messages of people inquiring about stuff, and I'm like, hey, call me, please. Don't make me go back and forth through this app because it's terrible. And then I never hear from them. And I really wonder if it's like BS, if they're like fake inquiries, and then they just like drag you out. I heard somebody, there's been a lot of talk about Yelp in the past, but I knew someone who did home-based services, and he used Yelp, and he actually paid for the ads. It was like 300 bucks a month or something, and you get up to a certain amount of leads, and then after that, you have to pay for the leads. I think it was like 8 to 12 bucks a lead, basically. It's like not a major deal, right? But it is just a lead. You like, they don't have to book with you. And he said like in the beginning, he got a couple of jobs here and there, and you know, it kind of made it worthwhile to do the advertising. And he was just starting off. And then after, I think he probably did it for like 6 months or so, he stopped. And like, you still would just organically get inquiries about your service, and he would still get them like every once in a while. But everyone he got, when he went to go reply and say, hey, here's the details, this is what we do, if you can just give me a call or follow up here, instead of going back and forth through an app, you know, I can just come on and give you an estimate, he would never hear from the person. So he had one person that actually left a phone number and an address, and he looked at the address and it wasn't even in Florida. And then the phone number went to a call center for some place in a different country. And it was like, what the hell is all this? Like, luckily that wasn't one of the ads he paid for, but it, like, I remember looking it up a while back when I was looking at like Angie's List and stuff, and Yelp was kind of mixed in there with the scamish leads. Like, they kind of just throw together a bunch of information, make it look promising, you pay for the lead, and then you can never contact the person. And you can call and complain to Yelp and say, hey, like, I got charged for this, but like, there was no contact with the person. I wasn't even able to get through it. And sometimes they're like, oh, sorry about that, it happens, we'll refund you. But a lot of the times, for what I've heard at least, you're just shit out of luck. And that kind of sucks. So I've never wanted to pay for Yelp because of that. You know, between all the, you know, mass public having a problem, and then I knew somebody personally who had a problem, and it all kind of lined up with what I was reading. And I was like, yeah, no, yeah, let's stick to Facebook and Nextdoor and stuff, so to say. But then she messaged me on my website under a different name, by the way. And I was like, this is weird. But it's a second floor house. It looks like a hoarder house, to be honest. Like, there's just a pile of bags there's a photo of. And then you can tell it's a hoarder house pile of bags because you can see a sofa chair on the top left by the ceiling. So there's just a mountain of bags and trash. And then there's a sofa chair just way up at the top. So I don't know how bad this job is going to be when we get there, but I'm going to make sure my truck is empty just in case. And I mean, it's a second floor, so depending on the situation at the bottom, what we can sometimes do is we will put a speed pack down there, and you can just kind of like drop stuff over the railing and have it land in the speed pack, as long as you don't do anything too heavy. So like, you're not digging the dolly into the ground each time, But if you have like lighter bags that are just miscellaneous trash, you can just kind of drop them off the rail into the speed pack and then roll it out to the truck. So that would make things a little bit easier versus having to go up and down, you know, 200 steps. We'll see what happens when we get there though. That'll either just be like a half a truck job because she only wants what's zoomed in on the photos to go, or it'll be a little bit of everything. But I'll take whatever comes that way. It'd be like that. We have a lot of going on with June, but like we just started like actually doing the jobs. So today was $665, and then we had $70 in tips, and we started the day at 1:30 and we ended it at 4:10. So a little less than 3 hours. Took us 20 minutes to drive there, 20 minutes to get back home. Gas, figure a gallon or two. And then material wise, nothing. Dumping wise, we'll probably end up having to dispose of maybe like 500 pounds worth of stuff, if that. I think we can get rid of a lot of this stuff back here actually. Like I think more is gonna get dumped from the job we just did versus the one we did earlier that had more stuff in it. So probably, I don't know, $10, $12 in dump fees. So pretty good profit for the day. We had a client ask the other day, she was gonna tip us on the card, and she's like, just out of curiosity, like, you guys get this tip, right? And I was like, yeah, we're the only 2 people in the company. And she's like, okay. I'm just trying to think like, should I? Because if it's just you guys, then you're just gonna make whatever I'm paying you, right? And I was like, no. And I told her flat out, I was like, we take 40% of whatever we make. So if we do 10 grand for the month, then we're getting 4,000 of that. And that's for both of our bills. So luckily we do other things too to make up for revenue and income. But I was like, we're not getting all of this money. Like if I go do a $300 job and it takes us like a half hour, you know, we're only getting 120 bucks of that. And that's for not only the job itself, but that's for the time to get there, the time to do the job, and the time to get back. Like that's a lot of time for that little amount of pay for 2 people. So sometimes I think people just assume that we're just raking in all this money because it's whatever the job is, and it's so far from the truth. But yeah, it's like I explained that one time. There's this guy, he hired us to do a gas station once for him, and he had me come back to get, in the picture he sent me 1 pallet with a couple pieces of plywood and then like a little patio chair thing, and he was like, you know, how much would that be? And I told him a quarter load. So it was a quarter load plus like a debris charge, so like a little around like 300. He was like, that's crazy, like I'm not gonna pay that. And I was like, you paid us for your other job, which was more, but I mean, it's not that far-fetched. And he was like, come on, like, can you do this for like 150? And I was like, for me to do this for 150 means that I'm gonna spend like a half hour messing with this stuff, a half hour go to the dump, probably wait for an hour, drive a half hour back, and I'm gonna make like $45 off of that. How does that make any sense? You know? I don't know. I think people just don't think about that. That's it. I've just been sitting here resting because I was getting tired. But we're gonna put everything out on the curb, let the neighbors grab it. We'll drop off whatever's left over tomorrow if it doesn't rain, and that'll be it.